Now, when it comes to hunting in or on private land, the answer that we didn't know will get you very far.
That's right, it won't get you very far. This week, Fish and
Sorry.
Wildlife, we take a look at some of the more common rules violations being handled by wardens this year, and illegal hunting on private land tops on the list.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife, sponsored by your local Montana Toyota dealers.
Thursday morning time once again for This Week in Fish and Wildlife. We're at Region 3 headquarters. Joining us this morning, Sergeant Matt Wemple. Matt, hunting season in full swing here. There's some things that we need to be on the lookout for. Probably one that you end up dealing with more often than not is landowner situations. Yes. These landowners are very valuable for us to hunt, but we've got to do the right thing with them, don't we?
Absolutely. One of the things that's important for hunters to understand is that when it comes to hunting, the hunter is responsible for knowing where they are at all times. It is not incumbent upon the landowner with respect to hunting to make sure that the hunter knows where they are. And so you want to make sure that you have permission to be on the land that you're hunting on. And that is just critical to the hunting privileges and the hunting tradition that we have here in Montana. I mean, private landowners are critical in us being able to have good habitat for wildlife and to make sure that folks have some access. And there's a lot of landowners doing great things for hunters out there, so we want to make sure we respect that. So there's so much available this day and age in the realm of technology that enables a hunter to know where they're at all times. Whether you have the app for your phone, chips in your GPS, whatever the case may be. And so we want to make sure that folks realize that, because we do get cases every year where people are, making mistakes, shooting animals on land they don't have permission to be on. If you do get in that situation, if you're on public land, animal crosses onto private, call 1-800-TIP-MONT, call the wardens. We will work with you, work with that landowner to try and help you salvage that animal. It's rare that I run into a landowner that does not want to have a hunter salvage meat that crossed from public onto private.
The other thing that we need to think about, and it seems rather obvious to us, it's almost day one of hunter safety course and things like that. If you're a hunter, we need to be able to see you, and that means wearing hunter's orange.
That's correct, and believe it or not, we find people not wearing hunter's orange here and there. You would think people would know, and some folks maybe saw an animal from the car, got excited, bailed out of the car, and went after it, and oh, I forgot my orange. The reason we have that hunter orange requirement is for safety reasons, as with the number of people we have afield these days. And the legal requirement is to have 400 square inches on your upper body where it can be seen visible.
That number, that 1-800-TIP-MONT, that's an important thing for you folks, isn't it, as well? Because you have all these eyeballs out there, and we need to do the right thing every single time, because one bad apple will ruin it for the rest of us. These eyeballs can help you guys out as well, can't they?
Absolutely, yep. I mean, we rely on that heavily. Other sportsmen who are out doing the right thing, when they see the wrong things happening, they're the ones who call us, and that's how we get our job done effectively, because we unfortunately just can't be everywhere at all times. So absolutely.
That's perfect. Again, Sergeant Matt Wemple joining us this morning with some great advice and great things to keep in mind as we're heading out into the field. Matt, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chet.
And that's This Week in Fish and Wildlife.
This Week in Fish and Wildlife was sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.